Good evening. My name is Asia Oliver, and today we will be discussing the misconduct that Aaron Kentz did. Aaron Kentz is a former researcher at Duke University School of Medicine. She studied her undergrad at UNC Chapel Hill and she earned a Bachelor's of Science. She co authored 38 research papers with Michael Foster, who is the lead researcher at Duke University. She received $200 million of government funding from the government and used it as grant money. The topic she studied was mycoplasma pneumonia, which is also known as atypical pneumonia. It is a common respiratory pathogen that leads to a series of diseases that can be either minor or severe. Some of the common causes of mycoplasma pneumonia is a community-acquired pneumonia, which means it is acquired through respiratory droplets. That means that it can be given to someone through a sneeze or a cough. Some of the risk factors are that it is common in kids, which means school-age children, 4 to 12, young adults, or anyone living in a confined space. If someone tests is positive for it, meaning the bacteria is present in the lining of the respiratory tract, it will spread easily due to it spreading from respiratory droplets. The research conducted by Miss Aaron Kentz is that she found that TNF alpha levels increase in the presence of mycoplasma pneumonia. She studied this by using the method of isolation. She isolated patients who are healthy who tested positive and patients who suffer from asthma who tested positive for mycoplasma pneumonia, and she found that TNF levels increase regardless if you're asthmatic or if you have normal breathing. TNF levels are inhibitors that produce macrophages to help fight against the infection. She also used an inbred strain of mice. She used measurements of airway and she used the MC culture. She infected mice who lacked both SPAs and MCs, and she infected mice who had SPAs and MCs, and she found that the mice who lacked SPAs actually had increased airway hyperresponsiveness, and the mice who had SPAs, all they did was decrease in mucus. Aaron Potskamp's misconduct was believed to be falsifying and fabricating data. She also embezzled more than $25,000 from Duke University. This is a figure selected from one of the articles that was found on retractionwatch.com, and it shows that this figure was falsified in several databases. This figure displays the total resistance of the respiratory system. However, the numbers are manipulated. So she usually changes numerical values for the mice lung measurements, which causes all the data to be thrown off because it's using fake numerical numbers from the start. The punishment received was on October 1st, 2019, where she entered the voluntarily agreement, which means she voluntarily agreed that she will be permanently excluded from any contracting dealing with the U.S. government. She also excluded herself from being eligible for any of the programs involving U.S. government or in the U.S. She also disbarred herself from any position or anything that she participated in with regarding the PHS. The Office of Research Integrity response was basically that they found that she falsified and fabricated all the research data. It's said that she had 117 figures, 3 manuscripts, 2 research records, 2 tables and 39 published articles, 60 NIH grants. And these grants, she actually was arrested for these grants because she misused the money that they had that they granted her. So she was arrested because she used the grants for her personal purchases. That's how she got ticketed for plagiarism and stuff like that, because they was alarmed by her outstanding purchases. This led to her having 18 retractions. She also had a whistleblower lawsuit that was with Duke University, and that led to her 18 retractions as well as other things. So as I said, she had a Duke University whistleblower lawsuit. This started in 2013 and ended in 2015. They found Duke University guilty And it was because Duke University was well aware that she was publishing falsified information. However, they allowed her to publish it anyway, which was related to them because she worked for them. She was an employee. So now Duke University is responsible for $112.5 million that was awarded to her in grants. In 2019, they established new regulations where researchers must send a detailed budget regarding what they want to spend the grant on and whether or not they will have to use all of it. Researchers are also required to have NIH approval, meaning that if they use the grant that was given to them and they have some money left over, they need approval to continue to use that money or either send it back. Erin also had to pay restitution to Duke. The $25,000 that she embezzled, she had to pay restitution on that. She was also fired from the university along with her co-author Michael Foster. So her and him lost their jobs due to this falsifying information. This shows that the misconduct done in the science field is taken very seriously once it is alarmed. Also, Duke's integrity is very questionable because why would you allow someone to represent you while they are falsifying information? You are a university. Your name holds weight. You are essentially a legacy, and you decided to kind of be immature and irresponsible with the way you conduct yourself in the science field. As for Erin, she kind of played herself. She has basically given her whole research career, science career up due to her plagiarizing several databases. All her published articles are gone. It was 18 and they're all taken down. They're all retracted. All I can say is that science is important. It's something we need, especially in the health field. And I feel like it should be taken very severe when someone is playing with data that helps save lives. Thank you for having me, and here are my references.